Vanakkam, Sawabona, and Annyeonghaseyo. Hey, it's Tom from Green Shorts, and today I'm heading back to the shed. The green stash is in a little bit of a disarray. I know you're not surprised, but I do want to get started finishing what I've started. That being the shed here. One thing I've done off camera is poured this little step here. Did that with some salvaged concrete blocks and some of the salvaged concrete that I got at Home Depot. Today's video I'm going to clean up my mess in here, and I'm going to deal with this window opening here, which will be a screen, and then this window opening here, which will be a removable window made out of this reclaimed glass. But I'm also going to make a screen to go in here as well. So during the summer, I'll leave this as open with a screen. And then in the winter, this will have a solid piece that goes in there. And then this will have windows. I haven't touched the wall of principles in a while, but finish what you start has definitely been ringing in my ears. I am actually really excited to get back on this project. It's one of those things that I've been kind of nudging along. When I think about what it is I really want to be doing, it's building stuff like this. So the next two big projects I'm going to work on are going to be construction. So the first is going to be a tiny studio that's going to go over at Music on Main Street, which is a music venue here in town. And the second is going to be the teardrop camper build that I'm going to make for my son and I to be able to use to go on our mountain biking expeditions. So I say teardrop in quotes because it's going to be more of a pop-up. I need to be able to tow it behind my small hybrid, and I also want it to look like it was made to go with that vehicle. So definitely not the typical teardrop shape, but more on that later. Before I get started on my window frames, I'm going to make a little time to tidy. I'm just going to make a mess again, but sweeping up will make me feel happy in the meantime. Eyes and ears, JW. I set these out in the rain to rinse off, and then the rain stopped. I'm gonna go 5 panes high on my window. And thankfully I had 5 panes of this size. One of them's got a little corner knocked out, but I think it'll be okay. That'll do for now. I ripped down some 2x4 on the table saw that I'm going to use to make the window frame as well as the casing. I've cut these a little longer than I'm going to need since I'm going to be making this window in place basically. I'll trim them off to fit the window opening once I know exactly what I'm dealing with. I've done some basic mill work, cutting a lap joint into the ripped down 2x4s. So my basic window setup will go together like this. Nothing fancy, but I think it'll get the job done. I'm gonna put this together with some glue and some 3/4 inch brads. I'm gonna hold the panes in with the cutouts from my lap joints, but I'm just gonna use brads, no glue, to put them in case I ever need to replace the panes. Those nasty old windows were worth saving after all. Just need to trim off the tops here and be ready for the installation. Success! I'm gonna add a quick sill and then test fit the window. Don't know how I got that measurement so wrong. And tilt this forward. Now that I know how tall my window is going to be, I'm going to mark the casing and cut it off. So now that I've got the window dimensions set, I'm actually going to take the window out and use those dimensions to make my screen, since the screen's going to be what I'm going to be using first since it's summertime in Georgia. I'm actually going to take the window back to the garage, paint it, and then I'll store it until winter. I ripped down some clear pine for the frames for the screens. I'll use strips of the twisty 2x4 to lock the screen down. I'm just going to use some simple butt joints to make the screens. For my window screen, I'm actually using a scrap of screen that was left over after my screen porch was constructed. It's a little wrinkly, a little dusty, but it's practically brand new. Train's here. Greetings, my friend. And now I'm going to trim it off. screen, window, screen, happy. Whew, alright, so I'm pleased with the window and the screens, and I'm excited with the progress I made today on this shed project. I figure I got 2 or 3 more videos to wrap this up, so stick around, and thanks for watching if you've been following this series. I also want to thank my patrons and my members for supporting this channel. I appreciate the vote of confidence and the support. As always, my mission here at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green by doing it yourself. Thanks so much for watching. Keep all the great comments and suggestions coming, and I'll see you next Saturday.